this third album and everything, by now I would have put out an album. So I've accumulated about like 80 records. So I mean, it was just a big gumbo of me, going through and pulling out records, which I thought was the hottest records. I recorded, the process was even recording songs in the studio hotel room, what I mean? And definitely, it was a lot of work, just traveling around the world and trying to, get music done.
Was it more, because you said 80 songs, was it more like producers coming at you, like, Flo, I got this beat, or were you seeking out people?
Oh yeah, it was everything got played. Producers come hollering at me, telling me they had production for me, and me reaching out to those who I thought would definitely, help me go and get a home run.
Tell me a little bit about the songwriting part of it. Is it you basing something off an experience that just happened, or are you playing third person? How are you putting the lyrics together for this?
I mean, it's definitely the inspiration comes from just traveling around the world, different places, meeting different people, and then at the same time, I love when I'm in the studio and I work off a spur of the moment. I think that's when the magic happens.
What was the goal with this disc, with this new CD versus the other? Were you trying to make a different point this time around?
Always, definitely always showing, versatility. I mean, hitting all corners, whether it be not just have the club records, but also have those records that I think, on the romantic side, I never really ventured off into doing storytelling records too much, and people really getting a chance to really connect with that. So I made sure I did that with creating Only One Flow Part 1.
Was there, did you feel funny at all kind of taking a risk? Because obviously you have a formula that works. It's worked the first time and the second time. So how was it for you to kind of do something a little different too?
I mean, it's never really a risk because just prior to me having a record deal, I always did all types of records, and I always get a chance to, spar with myself, putting out mixtape records and things like that. So, I mean, it's just all about me feeling the soul of the record when I'm finished with it. That's what counts the most because I think, a hot record is a hot record.
How did the decision come about to do two parts?
Oh, just trying to be different, for this third album, being clever, me being from Florida, breaking that into two parts. You got Flo Rida, so I thought, I'll put out 2 discs.
What is the other one going to be like the same length in terms of, was it like 9 or 8 songs on this one?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it really won't differentiate as far as, the subject matter or anything like that. It's just, a second disc, and definitely hot music. Got to make sure it's just as hot as the first disc.
What are you still working on the second one, or is that already done?
Oh, we already have the records done. Right now, we're just going through the process of what we want on the album.
Okay. Tell me about the collaborations on this one. You got Gucci Mane, Ludacris, obviously
Yeah.
David Guetta.
We got Akon. We got Cash Money's on Kevin Rudolph. I got a new up-and-coming reggae artist. His name is Lazar Morgan on a record called 21. I have my artist that's signed to my new label, IMG, International Music Group. I got Get Fresh on that same record with Luda and Gucci. Yeah, so I mean, definitely happy, with all the collaborations I have on the album.
You've obviously had so much success, especially with the singles doing like, 5 times platinum for both albums.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, this time around, is it more of a push to try to sell more albums versus singles now, or?
I mean, it's always, you try to, sell records, sell singles, do it all. But, I'm not too fond of, even just worrying about that. The most important thing is just, connecting with the fans, on a worldwide basis, because a lot of times you'll see numbers and that doesn't, play a part in the whole worldwide numbers. So, I mean, everything counts still.
And it seems like, too, that now that we're in the digital age, we interviewed L.A. Reid once, and he was saying selling like 5 million singles is almost as good as selling like 2 million albums.
Right.
Is that?
I mean, yeah, when you look at the numbers, it's definitely, it's definitely, it adds up to that. And so far, I've had the record that I just put out, Club Can't Hear Me, is like at almost 2 million now. So, I mean, I'm doing pretty good.
Tell me how you got your record deal. Tell us that story.
Oh, man, the independent label that I'm signed to, which is Po' Boy Entertainment, I've been knowing those guys. It's like family, prior to me even just doing music, around the neighborhood and things like that. But when they started their company, they have artists that, were very successful. And around the time Rick Ross was popping off, I started off in a group but decided to be a solo artist. And I had my thing going, and they just gave me a call like, man, Miami is hot. I was living out in LA at the time, and it was just like, you need to come down here, man. We definitely can do something. You got some very creative work. You're a talented guy. You need to fly back down. So after Ross was popping off and everything, it kind of opened the door for me. Came down and got like a record deal probably in the next 4 months.
Why the decision to remove your, well, not, why the decision to be solo instead of in the group?
I mean, for the most part, the guy who uh, told me, he was just like, man, like, you really stand out in the group. Everyone's talented in the group. It was actually one of the guys who was in the group. He decided to be my manager at the time. And I just, took the initiative. We felt like, however way we were going to make it, we were going to do it. So, I mean, I started working on my solo project and put out a mixtape and got a great response.
Tell me, who were the artists that were like most influential to you?
Oh, man, even, outside of hip-hop, big fan of Jimi Hendrix, going back to, like, Otis Red and Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin, hip-hop. Back in the days, I was real fond of the Fat Boys, Run DMC, L, Cool J, Slick Rick, Two Live Crew, just to name a few.
I know you got a Tupac lyric sample.
Oh yeah, big fan of Tupac when it comes to the now artists. I'm big fan of Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls, Outkast, Luda. You know,
Is there, obviously your songs are on the pop charts. I think just about everything you released has made it in the top 10. Is there more of a push to be played more on urban radio?
I mean, for the most part, if you can, you want it all. So I mean, um, when I'm in the studio, I'm definitely a big fan of the record just making me feel you know the best. Like, if I'm riding the car, it's gonna be bumping. If I'm in the club, it's definitely gonna be doing this thing and have everyone going crazy. And when I feel like that, I think a lot of times I'm successful with it. And as far as the urban radio goes, I've started out doing records urban, and every album I put a record or two on that's gears more towards the urban side. So I never forget that, and it's always a pleasure to do that.
Tell me a little bit, because obviously you've traveled the world. What's been one of the best experiences in what country?
Oh man, somewhere everywhere. I got a chance to go to Dubai like almost 3 times this year, and every time I go is I get a chance to see some of the hottest cars, homes, and it's a great vacation spot.
The music, obviously you got a lot of club music. Do you party a lot?
It's like every day is like a party for me, and just performing. I'm the life of the party, and when I'm on stage, I make sure people, they feel that, get a chance to live and get the feeling I have when I'm in the club.
Have you noticed that, is there a difference between like the different audiences in the different countries that you're performing in?
Oh yeah, it's a major difference, and the language barrier. Most of the times they can't even speak the same language as you, and they know your records. So I mean, other than that, as far as the fans, going crazy is like when one of my records come on, whether I'm in the States or if I'm out overseas, the fans definitely get up out of the seats.
Are you surprised at how well a lot of the singles that you've put out have done?
Oh yeah, very surprised, because just being an artist, a lot of times you just want a record deal. You don't even think about the numbers. But when you start, being in the Guinness Book of World Records and things like that, that's like out of this world.
What are some other goals that you have for yourself?
I mean, to definitely, I have my new label, IMG International Music Group. I have artists, Get Fresh. I got a hip-hop female artist by the name of Brianna. Just launched their careers and see them, if not the same success, even more success than I am, be successful in everything. Venture off into doing film, movies, take advantage of, all the success, and maybe do some clothing line, fragrances, and things like that.
You said you had a hip hop female artist.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about her. Since
Oh
there
yeah.
are not so many female rappers out right now.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Nicki Minaj doing her thing and just definitely keeping that lane open. But Brianna, she's been doing this for a long time. I remember her, just being like 7 years old. Recording and doing things down in Miami, and at this point, she's definitely well-rounded. She has the look. She has versatility. She's very passionate about hip hop and everything. So I mean, I'm pleased to and honored to have worked with her, and look forward to taking her career to a whole big level.
Do you think this is probably the perfect time to put her out because there's not as many female rappers? It'd be a good time to just.
I mean, it's definitely a perfect time, but it's just all about even if Nikki wasn't doing her thing, if hot hot is hot, So
You were giving away free iPads
oh yeah, giving away free iPads. I'm always just doing things like that.
and flat screen TVs before
Yeah.
too. And then you also put your phone number
I
up,
gave up
right?
my phone number, and it's like I can't almost even answer the phone now. I got so many text messages. So I mean, to all the fans that's trying to call me and get me to call them back, I have to wait till the phone stop ringing just to call back and things like that. But it's amazing to see how many fans are hitting me up.
What was kind of the, I guess, the most interesting conversation or like text message you got from a fan?
Oh, it's crazy. When I answer the phone, I'm sitting up there for like almost 5 minutes trying to convince them it's me. They're like, no, this guy has to be a manager. I'm like, no, it's me.
Because a lot of artists are doing that, like the automatic one. If you call and it's like, "Hi, I'm Flo Rida." Da, da. So
Nah,
you've been answering the phone.
right.
That's crazy. What would you say has been the biggest growth you've seen in yourself since your first CD came out to where you are right now?
Oh man, just traveling like almost every day to like a whole nother country, and just seeing the response I get like from the fans around the world. It's just coming in, it's just a tremendous amount of shows I'm doing, and it just definitely has given me the confidence, me headlining shows now and everything. It's definitely a big change.
Who are you currently listening to on your iPod?
Oh man, I actually just bought Nicki Minaj's album. Um, um, always listening to Tupac every day. Big fan of Tupac, Biggie. Like I said, Jimi Hendrix, just to name a few.
If you weren't doing the music thing, what else do you think you'd be doing?
I was going to school for international business management, so I'll definitely be doing something from that aspect. Whether it's I always love rocking clothes and things, so I'll probably be into fashion and everything.
Who else would you who do you think you'd have featured on the part two CD?
I mean, so far, I haven't come up with those features and everything, but I'm pretty sure we'll have an amazing artist on that.
Who is there like a dream collaboration?
Oh man, Outkast, or maybe I went on tour earlier this year with Beyonce. I wouldn't mind doing a record with her. She's amazing on stage, great performer, great artist, very passionate, and that's what it takes, to leave a legacy in music. And I wouldn't mind working with her.
Now that you're in the music industry and you're on your third album, is it what you thought it would be?
Even better, you know. For the most part, just having the huge amount of success I had starting out, people would count you out, and just for me to be relevant, which I never even really thought about, because I mean I'm that guy who just loved being music. I mean doing music and just being in the studio, going performing around the neighborhood. But definitely, I mean it's more than what I dreamed of, and I look forward to doing big and better things.
Cool. You have a lot of your fans who are watching now. If you just want to shout them out.
Oh yeah, shout out to all my fans, who supported me from day one. Those who pre-ordered the album, those who are going to get the album, it's in stores right now. Only One Flow Part 1. I mean, those who hit me up on Twitter continue to do so. I'm retweeting everything you guys hit me up with. If you're trying to find out all my whereabouts, where I'll be touring, you can go to officialflow.com. Holla at your boy, and that Twitter is at official_flow. So I mean, I love y'all. Without y'all, I couldn't be even doing this and getting a chance to see the world. So, I mean, I love y'all for that.
Cool. Thanks. Thanks, man.
Appreciate
Appreciate it. I'm gonna grab our.
It's a little bit vintage Hollywood glamour, and it's a little bit
because I have eight devices. I had to have a couple.
it's a little bit vintage Hollywood glamour, and it's a little